Good evening, everybody. Mr. Ron Lauder, my friend, President of the World Jewish Congress, Eduardo Elstein, Chairman of the Governing Board, Professor Eli Wiesel, pillar of the Jewish people, which I had the honor of meeting and spending some time with, leaders of the Jewish communities from around the world, distinguished guests, welcome home to Jerusalem. I want to thank you, members of the World Jewish Congress, for standing strong for Israel and Jerusalem through the international demands and inquiries, through the flotilla, being there for us whenever we need you. You're in the front lines of helping shape world opinion, and you are making a difference. And for that, I want to thank you on behalf of the people of Israel. When I was born in 1959, my parents moved to Jerusalem. That was just about 50 years ago. I'm proud to be a Jerusalemite practically all my life. I was raised as a child in a divided Jerusalem. I remember how it was. The city was dysfunctional. The focus was on differences. Jerusalem did not meet its potential. No resident had freedom of movement. All residents from all sides were limited. The city was far from being what it is today and what will be in the future. We all remember, you all remember how it was moving along in Jerusalem when it was divided. We also remember that 2,000 and 3,000 years ago, Jerusalem was the center of the world. Huge potential. People of all faith used to come and worship the city, the most beautiful city in the world, the holy city, a spiritual city. And that potential exists today. It has not changed. Jerusalem is and always will be the center of the world. Jerusalem is in the heart of over 3.4 billion people of faith throughout the world. We have to enter their hearts. We have to bring them here to see how Jerusalem is doing today, to walk the streets, to practice their faith freely. Christians move along and practice their faith in their churches, the Muslims in their mosques, and us Jews in our temples. And people can move and practice their religion like they never did. Definitely not when Jerusalem was divided under Jordanian hands, and it was not like this in the last 2,000 years since the destruction of the temple and the city. When people walk the streets of the city of Jerusalem, they understand. They understand the values and the importance of the city, its beauty. When they walk in the digs of the city of David, and in the tunnels, and in the old city, they understand, they get it. And one of our roles is to improve and to get Jerusalem in the hearts of the people of the world. Get more people to come and walk our streets. Improve tourism, improve our culture, and make the experience of coming to Jerusalem second to nothing, and better from year to year. And send not 3 million tourists a year, but 10 million ambassadors of peace of our city to the world back home, and get more and more people to understand the values and the importance of our city. We would like to scale to that opportunity and working very hard to achieve those goals. By getting more people to come to our city, we're actually helping Jerusalem come out of its poverty, create economic growth for the benefit of all residents of the city of Jerusalem. This is the vision and the goal and the potential of the city that we should all strive for. And myself and the Israeli government and us people are committed to continue and ensuring freedom of religion, freedom for all, Christians accessing their sites, Muslims practicing their faith, and of course, Jews, as I said earlier. This was, again, I have to repeat, not true in the past. And we all should learn from history, from our mistakes, and not make the same mistakes again. In order to fulfill the vision of getting more people to enjoy our city, to make it more beautiful, to make it more spiritual, we have to maintain a united Jerusalem. Keeping Jerusalem united is focusing on the common denominator, not the win-lose relationship or thinking that Jerusalem suffered from for thousands of years, but focusing on how to make Jerusalem work better in all its parts. Ideologically, this is the right thing to do. It is our past. Jerusalem is our future. You cannot divide a heart of the Jewish people. It will never work. We know that both from the ideological part and also on the practical part. We remember how it was in the past. There is no history of a split city in the world that ever worked. Not one. They either stay dysfunctional or get reunited again, as Jerusalem did. Practically, we've proven that we know how to keep freedom of religion in Jerusalem, and we will aggressively pursue improving quality of life for all residents, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. There are lots of gaps to fill. We have to bring investments. We have to bring the world, if they're interested, to help in investing in our city and improving quality of life, but as part of the vision of a united, successful city for all people of faith in the world. Professor Wiesel, you represent the Jews who went through hell on earth in the center of Europe less than 100 years ago, 60 plus. You have touched the lives of millions of people around the world with your wisdom and your stories. You remind us all of the horrors and the lessons of what can happen in this world. And your conclusion and your message is the same I've just shared. Let's learn from our past. Let's make sure that we don't make the same mistakes twice. When we last spoke, after you defended Jerusalem in your meeting with President Obama, you shared our mutual vision better than anyone else. A united Jerusalem is our future, and you present this path clearly and strongly. And so I would like to thank you on behalf of the people of Jerusalem. We'd like to thank you for your vision, your persistence, and for standing with us in such important times. On the eve of negotiations, I would like to remind the parties the role Jerusalem plays and will always play in the world. That Jerusalem is in the heart of over 3 billion of faith throughout the world. Not only is the capital of the Jewish people, and that you cannot divide a heart. Remember the time when it was divided and dysfunctional. Remember that today we have great freedom of religion, and that the vision for the benefit of the residents of Jerusalem, for the benefit of the people of Israel, the Jewish people and the whole world, we must open up Jerusalem for the benefit of the world, enable people to enjoy it, and aggressively pursue that vision. So today from Jerusalem, in the presence of the guardian of Jerusalem, Professor Eli Wiesel, and our friend, I would like to send the people of Jerusalem, the people of Israel, the Jewish people, and the world Happy New Year Happy New Jewish Year. Shana Tova. לשנה הבאה, בירושלים הבנויה, בירושלים המאוחדת והמצליחה. And I'd like to see you here next year in a similar event. Thank you very much.